Today, so many tiny city cars cost the kind of money you might expect would buy you a larger Super Mini. Here's one that doesn't: Suzuki's Celerio. It's not only the most affordable model of its kind, but also the cleanest, the most economical, and the most spacious. As a result, this might just be the car that gives its Japanese manufacturer an important foothold in a segment that's traditionally been dominated by the European brands. There are funkier alternatives, no question, but are there fundamentally better ones? That's what we're here to find out.
The Celerio is fun to drive thanks to firm but supple suspension and willing, thrummy 1-litre 3-cylinder petrol engines. This unit comes in either standard guise or in more frugal dual-jet form. Either way, there's 68 PS on offer, enough for this normally aspirated power plant to get you to 60 miles an hour in 14 seconds on the way to 96 miles an hour. Go for the standard 1-litre model, and town-bound folk can choose the option of AGS automatic transmission. Out on the open road, the steering's not especially feelsome, but its lightness is a boon in town, which makes parking easy and facilitates a tight 9.4 metre turning circle. Are you fed up with funky small cars? Suzuki is. The Japanese maker acknowledges that there is a place for fashion-led little urban runabouts, models like the Toyota Aygo or the Smart 4/4. You sense, though, that it can't quite see the point of them. In contrast, Suzuki's city cars have always been sensible, and this Celerio replaced two of the most practical models in the company's back catalogue, the affordable Alto and the slightly smarter Splash. It combines the virtues of those designs too, with the boxy, budget convenience of the Alto and the smart, modern look of the Splash. The luggage space part of this car's buying equation is explained by a very simple but very effective piece of design here at the back. This has nothing to do with anything you can see, like, for example, the chunky bumper and the V-shape made by the tapering tailgate, and everything to do with the stuff that you can't, namely the torsion beam suspension housed beneath the floor here. It's been configured with what Suzuki calls flattened ends that create this very low base for the cargo area. As a result, you get a near class-leadingly practical 254 litres of space in here. And practical is a word that springs readily to mind on taking a seat here at the front. Those graduating on from a Spartan little Suzuki Alto might find it to be an upgrade, but just about everyone else will see little but strong durability in the firm utilitarian plastics. To be fair, a few efforts have been made to brighten things a little, with silver trim framing the centre console and the air vents. Taking a seat in the rear can sometimes be a bit of a contorted process in a city car, but here is aided by wide opening doors that you can pull out by as much as 90 degrees. Once inside, the rear bench is, as advertised, pretty much as spacious as you'd expect to find in a Super Mini from the next class up. Importantly too, it offers 3 sets of belts in a class where nearly every other rival provides only 2. You won't be expecting a 1-litre 3-cylinder petrol-powered city car like the Celerio to cost you very much to run, especially given that the model weighs in at under 850 kilos, whichever guise you choose. Sure enough, it's very efficient indeed. Even if you don't go for the clean and frugal dual-jet version that we'd recommend, you still get less than 100 grams per kilometre of CO2 and more than 65 miles per gallon on the combined cycle. Efficiency benchmarks that most city car rivals still shamefully fail to hit. To be specific, a standard 1-litre model like the Celerio SZ4 variant I'm trying here manages 65.7 miles per gallon on the combined cycle and 99 grams per kilometre of CO2. Order this car with AGS automatic transmissions and those returns aren't affected at all. No, not a jot. It's the dual-jet version of this car that really delivers, though, when it comes to low running costs. This version of the 3-cylinder 1-litre gets a higher compression ratio, a dual injection system, various low-friction technologies and a whole range of technical tweaks. Plus, most importantly, an EAS, engine auto start-stop system that cuts the engine when you don't need it, either stuck in traffic or when you're waiting at the lights. As a result, this Celerio's fuel and CO2 returns really are class-leading. 78.5 miles per gallon on the combined cycle and 84 grams per kilometre of CO2. It's rather refreshing to come across such an honest and straightforward little vehicle. Having started this test speculating on whether it could compete with supposedly more sophisticated city car rivals, we've ended up wondering whether, in fact, it actually needs to. A Celerio is, after all, different from other little urban runabouts in so many ways. It's less fashion conscious, so it's bigger inside. It's also better equipped and safer than many of its rivals, and crucially, much cheaper to buy. Go for the dual jet version and you also get yourself the cleanest and the most economical car in the class. Try one and then stack it up against pricier rivals, and one thing's for sure, there'll be no need for the hard sell.